See if it's on. See if it's on. Plug it. Put it back over there and plug it in.
How did I have a position?
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
So we're going to start off by giving all praise to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai.
All right, double honors to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, who rule and teach well and feed us with bread needful for the times, as well as the right energy and vibration to be in as a man of the Lord in these last seconds. All right, peace and salutations to the elect, the house of David. This is what we're building. The reason for these videos and the reason that you see us on these videos is not for our own vainglory. It's not to push our own agenda, but it's to help build the house of David, which, get that in Amos 9, Baba Kashat. We always got to push that vibration of the house of David, all right? We'll get into Armageddon. The Apostle Tahar did a video, and he said that brothers wanted to, go in on it as well. So through the Spirit, we got the brother from Arkansas, the head of Arkansas, Jakal. We got the brother Monaghan from DC, the head of the DC camp. We got the brother Yagadar, all right, the brother from the GMS Houston camp. And we have another brother from Houston, all right, Aquasha, all right. And we have any more guests? Hey, hey, the Lord has a spirit where brothers are getting together more and more, giving us, short glimpses of what the kingdom is going to be like. We can't enjoy it fully, but this is our constellation of brotherhood. So the Lord has gathered us here for this beautiful moment, and Lord willing, you brothers and a few sisters who are watching to edify. Go ahead. Amos 9.
Yeah, this is Amos 9 and 11. It says, "In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen."
Right, that is fallen. The fallen away came. All right. Now we're in the time of rebuilding. The Lord has bestowed His Holy Spirit upon His men. All right, through the Comforter, which He promised. All right, that He would send us. All right, and now we have the understanding, and we're building the house of David. Go ahead.
"And close up the breaches thereof."
Right.
"And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old."
As in the days of old, man. All right, and David's army was full of valiant, all right, mighty men. All right, go ahead.
It says, verse 12, "that they may possess the remnant of Edom."
Right, that's pretty much it on all of that. So we're building the house of David. All right, so let's go to Joel. All right, so we can get into Armageddon. All right, because this war that's coming, all right, the third woe that some niggas are arguing against now. All right, this is going to be the end all be all. All right, the war of all wars, man. All right, and this war will end this age. All right, the end of the heathen rule is coming through the destruction of Babylon the Great. And what you see happening in the news, you see here all of these different, and if you brothers want to chime in, you see all of these different nations arguing over particular positions in the Middle East. Syria's on fire. All right, where else is on fire? Everywhere is on fire. Venezuela, but
Charleston.
Right, but in the Middle East, everything is pretty much happening because, as we're gonna get, matter of fact, what's that? The four angels about a river Euphrates. Revelations 8, I think. Yeah. Because you have the angels over in the Middle East. There's 4 angels over there. You got it.
I was gonna get Joel. I got Revelation 8.
Go ahead, brother.
All right, this is Revelation chapter 8, and I'll start at verse 7. I don't know if Revelation 8.
Okay, hold up. This like Revelations.
I got a precept while y'all
go ahead.
This is
2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time, wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath the beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I wanted to bring that out is because just the other day we had the eclipse, you know what I'm saying, which was followed by a Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? The Day of Atonement coming up. We got all these different sounds. You know, yeah, blow the trumpet, like it. We got all these different wonders and signs that's going on, and everybody just thinks that it's just lights in the sky. Everybody just think they got their own interpretation of what's going on. But these signs are bringing forth the ushering in of Yahweh's kingdom, just like the brother said, this Armageddon. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna have to be some eggs cracked before this omelet is made. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right. Go ahead, brother.
This is Revelation chapter 9 and start 12. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter.
That's right. There's three major world wars that are going to happen. And the third woe, which is the third world war, will be the end all be all. And that's what we're coming up on. All right? Go ahead.
Say something real quick. And when you look at history and the shift of power has always came through war, man.
Right.
All throughout history, before another kingdom came about, it was always through war, man. Right. Taking down the previous kingdom so another one can rise, man.
Right. And
we coming into the time of now, the last war, man.
That's right.
We're gonna be on top, like we're going to Jeremiah 16 and 14, man. We live in the new history.
That's right.
It's gonna be spoken of in the kingdom.
That's right. So back up what you just said. Jeremiah 18 and 7. At what instant I shall speak concerning a nation, concerning a kingdom, to pluck up and to pull down and to destroy it. That nation against whom I pronounce turn from their evil, I will repent of the evil that I thought to do unto them. Which this place ain't gonna repent, which goes into the Armageddon thing. You know, Esau's not gonna repent for what he's doing right up until he gets lit on fire. You know, he gets lit up.
Right. Because even when the Lord returns, the scriptures say they're not going to repent of their sorceries, of their witchcraft, of their thefts, of their robberies. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 13. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar, which is before Yahweh, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels.
Loose the four angels. All right? Now, if you understand the scriptures, the angels pretty much dictate the history that we know of. There was particular angels on the planet Earth through Yahweh, through the Son Yahweh Shai, pushing out particular energies and vibrations, setting up particular kings, okay? Setting up particular kingdoms and different things, putting down certain nations. All of that is done through the angels, man. Okay? Go ahead. Like when you read the book of Tobit, there was an angel around. I think it was Gabriel, right? Raphael, right. All right. At the time of the Prince of Persia, there was an angel who was sent to help work on his mind, you know? So the angels pretty much work on the minds of the people on the planet Earth. All right, go ahead.
The movie dealing with that was that movie Adjustment Bureau.
Right.
You seen that? Yeah, but it would show they had this society that controlled time and events and everything that went on, man.
Right. Right. Everything's done in order. There's particular angels over everything that you see happening on the planet Earth, including us bringing out this word. They say the angel encampeth about who fear the Lord, right?
Right.
All right. Go ahead.
Revelation 9 and 14, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates.
Which are bound in the great river Euphrates, man. Okay. Go ahead.
And the four angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of men.
To slay the third part of men. You have the sons of God, the sons of men, and the sons of the wicked. Okay. Now, what does it say in second? Get 2 Ezra 6 and 9, Baba Kashab, real quick. Okay.
Chapter 6, verse 9.
Right.
All right. It's chapter 6, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Right. And when you go into all Isaiah 63, Isaiah 34, it all deals with the destruction of Esau, man. The biblical Edomites. So read that again, Baba Bashar. Slay the third part of man.
Revelation 9 and 15. And the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of men.
Woo! And that's the time we're living in, all right? And we're going to get Joel to show you that the gathering of all of these nations in the Middle East, all right, because all of these nations are in the Middle East and they're arming their men. Okay, now the big badass bully America, they got an attitude because all of these other nations have those nuclear capabilities, but they gave it to them. Now Esau had it in his mind that he's going to give them this missile so they can use his news propaganda to say that they're after him and they can invade those particular places. But they took those missiles and and they made more.
Right.
All right.
Right.
They got more weapons.
Yeah, they doubled up.
They doubled up.
They doubled the recipe.
Right. Right. They use that platform to create more missiles. Then they get missiles from, then Russia's giving these particular places missiles because Russia is going to be a guard to these other particular countries, man. And they're all preparing to shoot missiles on Babylon the Great. Okay?
I got a quick precept.
Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah chapter 46, verse 9. Come up, ye horses, and rage ye chariots, and let the mighty men come forth, the Ethiopians and the Libyans that handle the shield, and the Lydians that handle the bend the bow.
And then Babylon the Great fucked over those two places, man. All right, especially Libya.
Man.
Use all sorts of propaganda. Hey, they had free. When they graduate from college, they get $50,000. If you have a child, you get money. Okay, if you graduate from college, you get a stipend, some thousands of dollars. You don't have no loans like you have here. All right, free electricity, all of that. And Esau went over there and used propaganda to say that the Gaddafi. And now look at the people over there. They're catching hell. So they're gearing up, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 10. For this is the day of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, a day of vengeance, that he may avenge him of his adversaries.
That's right.
And the sword shall devour, and it shall be satiate, and make drunk with their blood. For the Lord Yahweh of hosts had a sacrifice in the north country by the river Euphrates.
Had the sacrifice, man. And when you read Isaiah 34, that sacrifice is Idumean. All right? You Edomites, you so-called white people who control this whole setup, you going down, man.
Right. Yeah, Khan. This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore,
right, and
shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead. Some more.
Khan, last verse it says, for Yahweh hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast.
So they agreed to give their kingdom unto the beast. All right, you have these particular agreements that these different nations have. Now they agree financially, but morally, a lot of these nations are starting to get fed up with this shit, man.
Right.
Because there's a particular deal, there's a benefit carnally in dealing with America, man. Okay, in giving your people over to this beast system. But now people are starting to see that really it's ruining their people, man.
Right.
That's why I say the nations are mad. So for a particular amount of time, see, that's why it says the Lord has set Esau in a snare.
Right.
Okay. The snare is that these particular nations, they agree with them, they have different deals and stuff. Okay. And they're buying onto this debt system, but eventually they're going to get tired of America's shit, man, because of the wine and the wrath of the fornication, man.
Right.
And they're going to eventually all come together and shoot missiles on your ass. Then the chariots are going to come and all of these other armies are going to try to fight against Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and then they're going to lose that battle. And then we going to rule, man.
Right.
All right.
Can I say this real quick? Because a lot of that is greed, because these are carnal nations trying to fight for this last seat, you know, in rulership.
Right.
But they're going to be the first to be destroyed.
Right. Because all of these different nations, that's why I said, why did the heathen rage? All of these heathens really believe that they're going to be the next power structures. Spiritually, they want us to rule. But and they're carnal, they really believe they're going to, you know what I'm saying, rule in the next world like Moab. Imagine a world with Moab ruling, man. After all of the hell that this earth has been through, then Moab's going to come and rule.
So shit, they got to walk around with masks on, just breathing in pollution. So if they spread that all over the country, hell no.
Because of that Fukushima.
Yeah.
That damn pollution in the water, man.
Right. This is back in Revelation chapter 17, verse 17. For Yahweh hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will. And
put it in their hearts. How? Through the angels.
Right. I was just about to say.
Hey, what's that in yeah, that in Ezekiel 38. Ezekiel 38, where he's gonna put it, he said God and Magog is gonna think of evil thoughts. Okay, we can start above that. Go ahead.
Real quick in Psalms. Psalms 103 and 20. Bless the Lord, Yahweh Shemiah Shai. Ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word.
There you go.
I got a quick precept for you. It's Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings of the Lord, and how can a man understand his own way? You know, Lord, what's say when it also says in the Lord push your instructions. He seals your instructions in your head while you sleep. You know what I'm saying? And then you had a precept in Micah about them working evil on their beds. It all ties together. You know what I'm saying? For his will to be done on earth.
Right. And he's put the spirit on the so-called white man to not stop. He has the control of pretty much everything on the earth, and he's not going to stop. Okay, and that's going to lead to world war. That's
just to back the words up and point. It's Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
Right.
As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
Yeah, man. I would say whichever way he want that certain ruler to go, that's the way he gonna go. You know, that's why these people can say things to the effect of it is what it is, or he gonna do what he gonna do. No. Right. He gonna do what the Lord said he gonna do. And that these certain leaders ain't gonna rise up and it's peace and safety and all these different things. Right. Sudden destruction is gonna come from that, man.
Right.
And it was prophesied for them to do what? To lose in this final third woe.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So there has to be nations fight, you know,
right,
in order to fulfill prophecy.
Yeah, and then you see where he gathered them all up in the valley of the decision.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Nobody has been able to stop these prophecies from coming to pass.
Right.
All these nations that's beefing with each other, there's been treaties between them. They've all been broken, you know? So when these treaties are broken, that's proof that you can't upset the prophecy.
Okay. All right, now go ahead, bro. Yeah. Ezekiel 38 and 1. Now read that again, what you just read in Revelation.
This is Revelation 17 and 17. For Yahweh hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will.
To fulfill his will. And how is that happening? You can see that happening throughout the planet Earth. Look over in the Middle East, all of the friction you see. And that's another thing. This all is happening binged.
That's right.
So this is another reason. All of this stuff is happening around the planet Earth for the controversy of Zion, man. The Lord's chosen, and that he may be magnified, man. All right, go ahead.
It says, and the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal.
Right.
And prophesy against him.
Right, and that's in that area. What? Russia, Armenia. That's that whole region. So he's stirring up that region, man. And you see in the news constantly, Russia this, Russia that. That's Iran. Through prophecy, Iran. You heard more about him when ARMAGEDDON was in there, but you're starting to hear more about him now. They kind of fell off. You didn't see that much about them, but they back revved up, man.
Israel getting back in the news.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? That whole Israel-Iran beef. Yeah. You know, and that's what this chapter is going into.
That's right. Go ahead. And it said prophesy against him. Now, though the Most High is using God and Magog to do a mighty work, we're still prophesying against him. He's not with you, Edomites.
Exactly.
But he's using you to do a mighty work in these latter times.
I was saying it's the prophet's job to give everybody their judgment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just Israel that need to know what's coming. The whole world need to know what's coming. That way ain't nobody got an excuse.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So for Russia, so say Vladimir Putin run across the video and he like, hell no, that ain't what I'm thinking about. Them hooks gonna get put in his jaws and his bitch ass gonna get that butt.
That's right.
That's how we gonna do. That's how it's gonna go.
Okay.
Thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaw.
Right, he's gonna turn thee back to that USS. What is it? USSR.
USSR.
Right. Because what was NATO created for? To fight against the threat of Russia. And it kind of dismembered, but now they're getting back into that spirit, man. Go ahead.
I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen,
Right.
all of them clothed with all sorts of armor.
Right. And you see them, the war, the drills that they doing.
Right. Training in that car.
Training. Yeah. Yep. Hey, it's happening. This prophecy is happening when you look into the news. You can see it. Okay, go ahead.
Even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
What is swords today? Are they walking around with just little gun? No, missiles, man.
Weapon of war. Yeah.
And he said he go shoot his arrows to the ends of the earth. All right, North Korea talking about striking this place. Hey, these are particular places that wouldn't back in 20 years ago. It wouldn't have said shit to America, man.
Also, that was that movie Red Dawn.
Right.
That movie Red Dawn. North Korea attacked America.
Right.
Yeah, they came over. They came over in planes and parachutes.
I wonder if it was a flat Earth. How did they do that?
Oh man.
Or did they go west?
Oh man.
That would have took forever. Yeah, they would have ran out of fuel. Had to stop all the time. But if you're on a round Earth, that's the thing. On a round Earth, you got the option to go east or west. On a flat Earth, you fucked.
Man.
Attack, man. You just start back over on the other side. Somebody has something?
Okay. This is Zephaniah 3:8. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, said the Lord.
Wait ye upon me, saith the Lord. Go ahead.
Until the day that I rise up to the prey.
And he's rising up to the prey. Who's the prey? These demons that rule over us. These heathens, man. Said they would be the head and we would be the tail, man. And with them being the head, they've destroyed us, man. They're in all of our neighborhoods, feeding us and giving us shit that is contrary to our genetic makeup, man. That's just one of the things they're doing. You got Moab, they're big into transhumanism along with the so-called white man. These heathens got to be stopped, man. Go ahead.
Therefore wait ye upon me, said the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey.
Right.
For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon big nation. Even all
They say, so I may assemble the kingdoms to do what?
pour out. I'm sorry, let's start over. It says, for my determination is to gather the nations.
I'm saying the Lord's determination is to gather these nations up. Go ahead.
The kingdom.
That I may assemble the kingdoms. Go ahead.
To pour upon them my indignation.
So put my righteous anger on every single one of them, man. That touched the apple of my eye. Every single one of them that put a liquor store in the neighborhood. Every single one of them that put that fried chicken joint. You know what I'm saying? Every single one of them that decided it was okay to put drugs in our areas. You know what I'm saying? Truckloads of guns.
Study our DNA.
You know what I'm saying? That whole NATO EU system. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who's a part of that. Go ahead.
Even all my fierce anger.
Uh-huh.
For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my justice.
That's what I'm saying. The whole earth is going to be devoured with the fire of my jealousy, man. How the scripture talk about the earth being clean, dissolved, and reeled to and fro like a drunkard, man. Armageddon is what's going. That's what that's talking about. Right. That's Armageddon.
That's right. That's right. Hey, the Lord loves a good story. They say there's no movie is better than this movie, man.
Con. Because can you imagine what it's gonna look like with Second Edges? Was that Second Edges 13?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Isaiah 63. Can you imagine seeing those? You know what I'm saying? It ain't no special effects. It ain't no special effects out. that can show that. You know what I'm saying? Because the scripture say there's gonna be something that ain't nobody ever seen.
Right.
So you can't put it in a movie prior to it actually happening.
Right.
You know?
Get to live it, then show it to our kids in the kingdom.
You see?
That's right. That's right. You finished?
Yeah. I got Joel.
Yeah, let's finish this and then we'll get. You go ahead with that. We'll finish this and then we'll get to Joel. That's the point right there.
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her.
Right.
From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man.
Right.
None shall return in vain.
Right. Now, this letter that this brother's reading, like I said yesterday, was sent by Jeremiah through Sariah to the captives that were in Babylon. You see what I'm saying? So spiritually, when you read Jeremiah 51 and Jeremiah 50 and 51, those letters were to the captives in Babylon.
Right.
Because King Zedekiah was going to pay tribute, which he was a sellout, but he was going to pay tribute. So Jeremiah used that time to say, look, take this letter and read this to the Israelites. Okay? As a matter of fact, finish that, go ahead.
That was it on that point. I was going to jump down to 14.
Read 14.
Okay, come. It says, put yourselves in array against Babylon,
Right.
round about, all ye that bend the bow,
Right.
shoot at her, spare no arrows,
Right.
for she hath sinned against the Lord.
Right. That's right. And that's Babylon the Great. Go ahead.
Shout against her round about, she hath given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down.
Right. The foundation is fallen.
Right.
Okay. The road, like they do a grade on the roads and the infrastructure. America got like a D, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they constantly build you. Every time you try to go somewhere, it's particular lanes shut off.
So not only that, pipe burst too.
Pipe burst, right.
Pipes be bursting all types of crazy in different counties, remote areas, because they just weren't made to last, you know.
Right.
Pipes are bursting out, and the sinkholes. I know in Maryland they had sinkholes turning up. That's not normal in that area, you know. And that's happening all over. You know, we don't see all the local news, you know, in the different areas, you know. So this stuff going on that in the spirit that we don't know of, but it's happening.
Oh man, big time. Yep.
This place is getting built with slack hands, man.
Yeah.
I know you like in high school, that was one of my little summer jobs working for the city. I used to pave roads and all they do is use cheap ass material,
Right.
and just patch everything up with asphalt, man.
Yeah.
They don't build roads like the little cities to last, man.
Right.
Yeah,
Why?
like
Because it's a money bracket, man.
Right. Yeah.
You're buying tires and
Capitalist.
bullshit.
It's greed.
Yeah,
You're
'cause
paying
like-
a road tax.
I was gonna say, like, the infrastructure in America, like they was really building like your interstate highway system in the 50s and the 60s, but it was only set to last about 50 years. So
Right.
it's hella overdue, man. Like the brother said, that's all they do is patch up. They don't really go in and just boot everything out and start new. And the spirit that shows that this is spiritually wrong, what was happening to Rome's infrastructure before they declined? Same damn thing, man.
That's right.
Water was fucked
Right.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lead in the water.
Yep. Right. And that also shows a part of their their government falling as well, because that's the source of their power,
Right.
which is that foundation.
Right.
Going back to philosophies, right? All these other idols that they push, you know, the vibration of America is becoming weak, you know. Pursuing back to Joel 3. But it also says her walls are thrown down, so that goes into the military, right?
Right.
You know, like America used to be this global force
Right.
across the globe. Now it's not as strong. You know, going back to the, those ICBM missiles, right? And Russia having more, or at least being able to compete, because back in the day, the reason why they couldn't compete was based on what? That military force not being as strong. So that's another part of their walls falling down, you know, or thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her as she hath done, do unto her.
And this is talking about Babylon the Great. This ain't talking about ancient Babylon. He's prophesying about this place. We gonna prove it. You finished there?
There's one more.
Go ahead.
It says, cut off. Well, yeah, we in there.
Jump to 51 and read 61 hold down. We watch this, brother, just to comfort brothers. You know, because look, this letter was for us, all of the whole scriptures, but this letter was through Ezra's father, Sariah.
Done.
Okay, go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 51 and 61. And Jeremiah said to Sariah, when thou comest to Babylon and shalt see and shalt read all these words, then shalt thou say, O Lord, thou hast spoken against this place to cut it off, that none shall remain in it.
So that was talking about this Babylon, which means Sariah is back here today. Go ahead.
It says that.
And what words were the brother just read? The destruction of Babylon the Great. Okay, go ahead.
That none shall remain in it, neither man nor beast, but that it shall be desolate forever.
Right. So when he read these words, that didn't happen to ancient Babylon.
Right.
Go ahead.
And it shall be, when thou hast made an end of reading this book, that thou shalt bind a stone to it and cast it into the midst of Euphrates.
Now, what does that remind you of? The great millstone.
Around the neck of Babylon.
That's right. Hey, but in Revelation 18, he said he's going to cast a great millstone, all right, into Babylon, man. This word going out. Go ahead.
Right. Verse 64. And thou shalt say, thus shall Babylon sink.
Right.
And shall not rise from the evil that I will bring upon her.
Right.
And they shall be weary. Thus are the words of Jeremiah.
Right.
And real quick, if we can get that word sink.
Right.
You know, just.
Yeah, I got that one. Revelation 18:21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all.
Right. So when you read Jeremiah 50 and 51, just know, brothers, that was a letter sent from Jeremiah through Sariah telling us that this place was going to be destroyed, man. To the captives that were in Babylon. And now we're captive where? In Babylon. Okay?
Yeah, that word sink is a shikwai. It says, now I'm not going to use the word sink because it says sink like 5 times. It says subdue, collapse, cause to settle, and then some of the synonyms for it says drown, quench, let down, make deep.
By that fire.
That's right.
You know, like when you quench something, man, hey, it has no more power. That's how you also subdue it. You take the will away. That's what was taken away from us, our will to fight back, until we got with Yahweh Yahushua. That gave us the ability to fight back, to actually use these words to cast it against Babylon, aka America.
That's right. That's right. Go back. Ezekiel 38:5. Persia.
That's Iran.
Ethiopia.
That's the first one of the first names mentioned. Go ahead.
Ethiopia. And Libya. With them, all of them with shield and helmet.
Right, ready to fight.
Yep.
This is what's happening in the Middle East. All of these nations are gathering themselves, man. Biblical prophecy, you can't, look, the scriptures are real, man. You got this whole thing in the world, the Bible ain't real. Well, explain the Archetypus.
Right.
What's that? What's the, Alexander the Great real? Yeah, he real. Well, why is he mentioned in the Bible? Pharaoh Necho, why is he mentioned in the Bible? See, everybody, Pharaoh's good when there's ever any other history. But when you go into the scriptures and bring out the Pharaohs, Hopra and Necho, then nah, it's fake, it's bullshit.
Yeah, what about the relics?
The relics, right.
All types of relics have been found. New ones have been found.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel 38:6. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarter, and all his bands, and many people with thee. It says, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thy and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
Be thou a guard unto them. Now, when America did that strike on Syria, what did Russia say? They didn't like that shit. Just giving you one small example of how Russia, Gog and Magog, is going to be a guard unto these nations, man. Okay, go ahead.
It says, after many days,
you got something?
Yeah, I was gonna make a quick point. I know recently it was in the news that Russia just sent Turkey some more S-400 missile defense systems too.
There you go.
You know, and we know that Turkey originally was what a part of NATO.
There you
You
go.
know, and they go in Turkey, they go back and forth whether they want to be with NATO or they want to team up with Russia and build different pipelines to the Caspian Sea
Right.
for oil. You know, so it goes to show you that the prophecy of them being the guard is coming to pass right now as we speak, man.
Right now. And things are about to speed up. After that eclipse, just know, brother, stuff is going to happen fast, man. Lord is going to hasten the downfall of this place. But there's going to be a lot of hell that comes to the men of the Lord, which we're going to get into as well. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
This is John 10:35. It said, if he called them gods unto whom the word of God came, and the scripture cannot be broken. You know what I'm saying? So whatever is prophesied is going to happen. It's just in due time, you know?
That's right.
Go ahead. Ezekiel 38:8. After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword.
The land that is brought back from the sword. There's no major military conflict happen over here on the soils of America, except when they were fighting with each other over some slaves, you know, in particular trade agreements and deals. All right, but other than that, no particular major warfare has touched Babylon the Great. Go ahead.
And is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel.
There you go. Go ahead.
Which have been always waste. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Verse 9. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land. Thou and all thy bands and many people with thee.
That's right. Go ahead.
Thus says the Lord Yahweh.
I was talking about Russia. All right, Russia and Iran are going to be two of the key places that are going to have a part in destroying Babylon the Great. Go ahead.
It says, thus says the Lord Yahweh, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall these things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought.
Think an evil thought, meaning the angels are going to put an evil thought into the minds of Gog and Magog and all of these different nations. Man.
Right.
Okay? Right. And what is that evil thought? Go ahead.
It says, verse 11, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of the unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest.
Them that are at rest. Now, who's that? Them that are at rest, man. You stupid nincompoops in Babylon the Great, man. You're at rest, man. Why the whole world? Look at the Middle East, man. All of the hell that them people catch, man. Over here in America, you people are just simple. You loving your everyday life, drinking your Coca-Cola, all right? Drinking your Pepsi, eating your hamburger. Talking, we got the best hamburgers. They got the best hot dogs over here. Watching Kim Kardashian. No moral, nothing. The moral fortitude of this place has been cast down. The music, the art, everything is done here.
Right.
So read that again.
Like I said, the brother Zainal in the camp, he likes to say that if there were bombs going off every other week in these different neighborhoods, like it is going on in these other countries, people would act different. They wouldn't be acting up the way they act. You know what I mean? If you saw tanks on the streets all the time, if you had to experience what the beginning of the end of days is like right now for the last 10 years, you wouldn't be acting like this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't have bombs going off. You don't got children being ripped from you and stuff and what have you, you know?
I got a precept for you.
Come on.
This is Jeremiah 49:31. Arise, get you up to the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care.
That's why they got a term called bread and circuses, man. Esau keeps you fed, gives you distraction, and meanwhile, all hell is breaking loose all across the world. Bro, Venezuela is on fire. You know, it's no longer Venezuela anymore. It's just it's crazy, and people don't look at that as a sign. You learn what a domino effect is in history class. There's a reason they teach you that.
Right.
You know.
That's right. Isaiah 47:8. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that said in thine heart, I am. Woo!
Right, and that links up with Timothy on another level where it says, "She that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth."
Right.
This place is known as a whore, as a woman.
Right.
is likened unto a woman, just like any other land, you know. And the people within this place are wicked as all hell, man. You know, and they live in pleasure, because anything like a true, what's held to be pleasure in society is wicked as all hell.
It destroys you.
Like the Purge. In the Purge, you see, in the last couple movies of the Purge, you had people flying from all different countries coming to this place to do whatever the hell they wanted, man. That's symbolic of all the pleasures that take place here, man. You know? That's what I took from it when I saw it. You know?
Yep. The scriptures describe Babylon as a place where all of the mingled people are, man. All right.
When in Rome, do as the Romans, meaning whatever the hell you want to do.
Right. Right. It says that say, I am, they think they're the most high, and none else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come up on thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection. So the reason I brought that out is because it's all happening, like the brother said, it's a domino effect. And when, at the right time, the Lord is going to send missiles over here to devour this place. It's going to come in its perfection, man. All right? Is some more? Read the rest of that? It's just a little bit more, and then we'll get you over.
Ezekiel 38:10. Thus says the Lord Yahweh, it shall come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind. Thou shalt think an evil thought. And thou shalt say, I will go into the land of the unwalled villages.
Unwalled villages, like the brother said. There's no gates nor bars, no defense. They have their military spread all throughout the planet Earth. But the military really needs to be in a classroom monitoring those pedophiles, monitoring these police officers, monitoring these demons walking around here, and getting shit in order over here. But they don't think like that. The so-called white man's the devil. Go ahead.
It says
they need to be in the Catholic Church, kicking everybody out. That's what the military should be doing.
Yeah, they need to be doing raids on the damn Catholic Church.
Right.
Yeah,
you know?
Man.
But they over there lying and setting up propaganda to take people's oil. But the stuff that's going on over here is just ridiculous, man.
Right, but they want to build a wall to keep this car out.
Yeah, of their own land. You know, Trump said he gonna shut down the government to build that wall.
Wow. Want them to build it.
Yeah.
He want them to build it. Hey, but what happened with 9/11? So they claim.
Oh, boy.
What is the wall gonna do for a plane? You know what I'm saying? Or a missile. Man. You can't stop a missile with a land wall.
And Issachar go get over here regardless because they're coming over here to be destroyed or delivered.
That's
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The reason everybody is coming over here is to either be destroyed or delivered.
I got something for you real quick.
All right, go ahead.
This is Job chapter 33:12. I'm gonna read a couple verses and I'm gonna go quick. It says, behold, in this thou art not just, I will answer thee that God is greater than man. Say, why dost thou strive against him? For he giveth not account of any of his matters. For the Most High speaketh once, yet twice, yet man perceiveth not. In a dream, this is what this since we don't perceive what's being dropped down, since man don't perceive it. Verse 15, it says, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men and slumberings upon their bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sitteth their instruction. Just like the brother Wamba just said, everybody that's coming over here is coming over here to be delivered or destroyed, man. And these plans are being put in their head. That's what I'm saying. Ain't no wall gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? The instructions have already been sealed in the minds of these men. You know. And every night you go to sleep, I would say, who on the planet can't go to sleep? You can fight, sleep all you want. Eventually, you're going down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's when you're most vulnerable. Is when you sleep. That's why I said. That's why the Lord wait till you. He wait for you to get all the previous plans out. You know what I'm saying? And once you fulfilled your duty for that day, the next day he does it again. Right? He does it again, and he does it again. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna all. It's gonna all culminate into this one big white head that's sitting on Esau's nose. Yeah. And the Lord gonna pop that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, like it says in I think Zephaniah, every morning doth he send forth his judgment. So he seals your mind to be in the right place at the right time to be hit by a bus too.
Right. He put the spirit on the bus driver.
Yeah.
He put the spirit on the bus driver's wife to get on his nerves and have him pissed off.
Yeah.
To be driving crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's all clockwork. It's all been written.
Right, brother. Right. That's pretty much it on that.
Yeah, you could it was not hit the snooze button and miss that button.
Yeah,
But it happened perfectly. the way
Everything
it's
is
supposed to,
perfect.
man.
That's why you gotta fear Yahweh Shem Shai.
You didn't warm up your oatmeal long enough.
Right. Yeah. Because these these nations, they don't have understanding of why they're doing what they're doing. We're supposed to know. All right.
And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, we do know. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, bro.
It's Psalm 78:49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them.
Woo! Evil angels. See? The angels do everything, man.
Right.
The reason that this lesson, man, we don't even get it, but the reason that this lesson is happening is because it's an angel that put the spirit on us. All right? Hey, Revelations 14, what does it say? There's an angel follows saying Babylon is falling. An angel follows saying don't take the chip. Who is that being said through? Men. Ain't no angel walking around the planet Earth telling people not to take the mark of the beast and they go die if they take it. The elect, the 144. All right? That message is being spread through them, but it said an angel. So this is a highly spiritual thing, man. Hey, the knowledge we have is directly from the throne of on the right-hand side of the Most High Yahweh himself, man.
Right.
You read Revelations 5, he said he sent the comforter to his men. This is not low level, man. All right? You got something?
Yeah, this is Sirach chapter 39, verse 28. It says, there be spirits created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes.
That's right.
In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made.
Right. And ain't it the scripture that says the missiles are going to be guided by angels?
Right.
All right? The spirit is inside of angels, man.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? All right. So let's you got some more?
No, that was it. That was it.
Let's get Joel. That's what we should have been, guys. Hey, the spirit's been doing what the spirit does. Hey, before we started, we had a few scriptures, but pretty much the spirit is done. Hey, it's the Lord's program.
And that's those same four angels we were talking about from the very beginning.
There you go. And you know they got angels under them.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know? I got precepts since you're just talking about the angels.
Yeah.
Because you said, you know, they call it a guardian angel. If you will. We all have angels assigned to us.
Yep.
This is Matthew 18
Bam, you got it.
and 10. It says, take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you, this is red letter. Yahweh Shai is saying this, okay? Yahweh Shai is saying this. I'm going to read this again. It says, take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven.
Woo, man.
You gotta be careful.
You gotta be careful, man.
Can you read that again?
Yeah, come. Matthew 18 and 10. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven.
So there's angels, making something. How do your prayers get to the Heavenly Father? Remember, it says in Revelations, the prayers of the saints. There was particular angels sending those prayers up. Man, this
I'll say it's a precept somewhere in Isaiah. Apostle Elder Gabar did a video going into the benefits of the kingdom, where it was talking about how it's like a cap, a ceiling that's blocking our prayers from the Heavenly Father. That was going to be removed. You know what I'm saying? To where he could hear our prayers.
And then that's why I say the sacrifice shall be for a sign and a wonder in the land of Egypt. They shall cry unto the Lord because of their oppressors, and he shall send them a son. So eventually our prayers are going to reach up to his ears, and he's going to hear us, man. That's in Esdras too, you know? Go ahead, brother.
Time. This is Joel 3 and 1. It says, for behold, in those days and in that time will I bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
Right, and how is he going to do that? All right, you see it forming, man. Hey, we got a miraculous thing coming, man. Go ahead.
This is verse 2. It says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Yahweh Shaphat. The Lord's judgment, the final decision is going to be made in the Middle East, man. All right, go ahead.
And will plead with them, therefore my people, and for my heritage Israel.
See, this is like I said earlier, this is all happening because of us, man. for our benefit, for our sake. All right, so that the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua can be glorified. All right, through his people. Go ahead.
It says, whom they have scattered among the nations.
Whom they have scattered among the nations. Slave trades. Hey, what does it say in Revelation 11? When our dead bodies did lie in the street of the great city, they sent gifts to one another. They sold us for, hey, it's going to go into it. Go ahead.
It says, imparted my land. Verse 3.
They parted the land. You got it's half Islam, half Judaism, or whatever the hell they got going on over there. They parted the land of Israel, man.
Palestine,
yeah. Yep, go ahead.
It says, verse 3, it says, and they have cast lots for my people.
Yep.
And have given a boy for an harlot.
Yep, cast lots. We got one big bucket.
Right.
You see? That's all. They make movies, and then they make $1 million movies out of this shit, man.
Right.
Let us try to make a movie about the Byzantine Empire when we was ruling over Esau. He go crazy.
Right.
But they got 12 Years a Slave in all of these different movies, man.
They had a fantasy draft so far for the NFL, and they had nothing but Edomites sitting down there, and they were actually, like we're saying, what is that called again?
Bidding.
Auctioning, auctioning a bunch of these Jake players.
Yep.
You know, it was nothing but Jake players they had up there, and it was all Edomites sitting down there.
Right.
You know?
Yep, and that's the spirit of the Lord putting the spirit on these directors to make those movies, man.
That's right, man.
Django.
Put it in their head while they sleep.
Yeah. Hey, because hey, that spirit of racism and race was out there, man. Get out.
Yeah.
All of this stuff is just what? For us, man. All right, go ahead. You got something?
Yeah, I got that word plead for the verse that you're reading in too. Yeah, it's Shabbat, which is judgment. You know what I'm saying? Pronounce sentence for or against by implication, to vindicate or punish, by extension, to govern, passively, to litigate, literally or figuratively, avenge, that condemn, contend, defend, execute judgment, be judgment, needs, plead, reason, rule. You know what I'm saying? So in that valley, that's what I'm saying. It says to implicate, to vindicate the Edomites and all the other nations. They're gonna be implicated. You know what I'm saying? And then the elected nation of Israel is gonna be vindicated. You know what I'm saying? It says to punish. They're gonna be punished. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, we not gonna be punished. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's being gathered up in that area. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
To make that final decision, and that decision is for Israel to win unanimously, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Unanimous.
Sorry, I got a precept real quick. This is Ecclesiasticus, Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
I was gonna say it's not executed right then. You know what I'm saying? The Lord will let you get away from lifetime.
He said it's gonna come upon him in its perfection, right?
You know, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Meaning he got that thing brewing for you.
Right.
You know, all of these Rothschilds that had all these 9 heart transplants and all that. Yeah. Have at it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Have at it. You know what I'm saying? I want to
Yeah.
make sure that blood is good and pumping when you get your judgment. You know.
Right. Likewise with a thief coming in the night. You know what I mean? Like you don't know how long he's been meditating. You know, taking scope of, you know, your ins and outs, you know, trying to study you, get a strategy. And that's been Yahweh Shah through these angels. You know, and just sitting there lurking like,
Casing.
Right, casing, that's the word.
Casing the joint.
Casing. And the reason why you say casing is to do what? To take. Scripture says that the saints are going to take back the kingdom.
Right.
So it's going to be by force. It's not going to be, hey, we come knock on the White House door and shit, be like, hey, you know what I mean? Hey, y'all at least, you know, with America and the world is up.
We got these documents right here.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. You see this?
Don't be alarmed. We're Israelites.
Hey, what is it called? You reach your maturation day. You know what I mean? So like it says, Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Right.
That same evil that was placed in their mind. Right.
Transhumanism. All sorts of shit that they got going on, man. Putting chips inside of roaches and They
Right,
they
yeah.
not Esau ain't looking forward to stopping.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Even if I could say this, man, this whole thing, the West versus the East, Russia versus the U.S., man, these elites, man, they're playing both sides. But ultimately, the Most High put the spirit on them to play both sides to create their own destruction.
That's right.
Like we about to go into.
I want to say, and the reason why they play both sides is because this is their bootleg version of doing what the Lord is doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They think their will is going to be done on the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Having control over both sides is a crucial aspect of rulership.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's why they say that I'm going to set my nest up there and I'm going to be the most high.
Right.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that and he said, I am and none
None
else
else
besides
besides.
me. So he's like, well, shit, ain't nobody gonna do that.
Yeah.
What you gonna do,
Ain't
right?
nobody about it.
Right.
Because the Lord said, he said, I am. Before
Right,
he
yeah,
established
God.
himself.
Yep.
Before he said Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
Right.
Hey, he's
That nigga.
He's a bad actor.
Man.
He's off the motherfucking easy. Yeah, he's off the beat, right?
because
He's off the chain, literally. He needs to be put back on the chain. Right?
Yeah, because if I can say this, Esau has a legacy of stuff being identity thieves, man. And they're trying to steal the identity of the most powerful entity ever known.
Right.
Yahweh, they say he is, like it says in Isaiah 47,
Right.
and none else beside me.
That's what Monsanto is. Didn't the Lord say it was good once he made the seeds? But here come this nigga.
Yeah.
Creating diseases.
Right.
Hey, everything that the Lord is going to do on the right-hand side, the Georgia Guidestones, that's the scripture's already going to wipe out a particular amount of people.
Right.
You know?
The Lord been on eugenics.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
man. That's an old concept.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah. Go ahead.
Now, this is back in Joel 3 and 4. It says, "Yea, and what had ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?"
Tyre and Zidon. It talks about how they they traded his people off.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyre and Zidon, who was the original inhabitant of it? Those Hamites.
Mm-hmm.
That's northwest of Israel. All right, go ahead.
And all the coast of Palestine.
Who's that? That's those Ishmaelites.
Mm-hmm.
Who, for us to be traded to the so-called white man, who gathered us up? The Hamites along with the Ishmaelites.
Mm-hmm.
What was it called? The
transatlantic
slave trade.
The Arab slave trade.
The Arab slave trade.
Trans-Saharan slave trade.
There you go.
They had, yeah.
The scriptures say it perfectly, man. All right, go ahead.
It says,
And Ishmael walking around calling you brother, you're not gonna get away, man. Hey brother, hey brother. They always call him.
Right. That's weak, bro.
Tired of hearing that shit.
Come, bro.
Hey, you gonna get it too, man. I'm not your brother. Yeah, selling them cheap ass incense,
Man,
Egyptian musk. You go in there, like, what the hell is this dude?
Bro,
doing, man?
got
Big ass watch.
Obama incense.
Yes.
They got an incense fragrance called
Obama,
Obama.
because they know Jake will buy it. Cigarillos.
the rapper chips.
Yeah,
man.
You can buy cigarettes in a place. There shouldn't be fried chicken there, man. This shit don't make no sense, man. Go ahead.
This is back in Joel 3 and 4. It says, "Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head."
And that's what's happening, yo. All right, go ahead.
It says, verse 5, "Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things."
That's right.
It says, "The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the
Have you
Grecians."
sold unto the Grecians?
Edomites.
They sold us to the so-called white man.
That's right.
It's right here in the scriptures, man. Go ahead.
Sure. It's Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 4. "With thy wisdom and with thy understanding thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches."
Right, traffic through the seas, like Ariella put us on to. You control them. If you control these different rivers and all of that, you're rich.
Right.
That's what we want to say. We go possess the remnant of Edom and all of these different lands. Those different lands have different import plate, man. We go control all of that, man.
Location is everything.
Location
man.
is everything.
Real estate, you know.
Right.
Israel is like the epicenter of the earth, man.
Right.
You know,
Right.
close to ports and rivers. You know,
Right.
so it's gonna be a lot of traffic in there, man. Like everything's gonna come to Israel.
Right.
You know, all those good materials, the best oils, linens.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna come and pay tribute to us, man.
Hey, Haggai 2:8. It says the silver is mine and the gold is mine. It said the Yahweh of hosts.
Right.
What was that? Haggai what?
2:8. Back he said,
Hey,
he said the fifth verse.
That brother
You
was a Haggai.
didn't took my the fifth verse and you never taken my silver and gold.
Right. And where did it come from?
It came from the Lord.
It came from the Lord. It's already here.
Take that, Baptist church. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Everything was good. But then here comes this nigga, man.
Take that, Baptist church. Yeah. Go ask Creflo Dollar to go into the book of Haggai. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what nigga said.
Go ahead. Want some more?
I'm gonna read this. This is back in Joel 3:7. It says, "Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them."
They sold us over here to the Americas. That's why the Lord positioned us right in West Africa so we can be traded right over here to the Americas, man. That's right. All right, go ahead.
This is Ezekiel chapter 17, verse 3. And say, thus said the Lord God, a great eagle with great wings, long wing full of feathers, which had diverse colors, came unto Lebanon and took the highest branch of the cedar. All right, and that's pretty much a parable. Verse 2 pretty much breaks it down. He cropped off the top of the young twigs and carried it into the land of traffic. Now, part of that tree, which is talking about from that high cedar, is talking about us because that land of traffic is going into America, like the brother brought up earlier today. And you got the World Trade Center as a great example. Of course, it's taken down, but this place is a city full of merchants, as the scriptures say as well. All right, and it says, he has set it in my city of merchants. All right, so just going into how you placed us over here in slavery, you know, and had us working and building this place up. And you see what America's pretty much thriving off the work that we had done, you know?
That's right. That's right. Hey, that's why it describes Babylon in Revelation 18, all of the shipmasters and got rich by the waters. That's right. The scriptures, this is it, man. All right. Is there some more?
Yeah, I'll read these last two verses.
Then we'll get Jeremiah 50, get a few more.
This is 8. So like Joel 3:7, it says, "Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head."
And that's what's getting ready to happen, man. That's why Esau all uneasy. He's moving all around, looking at you all in the. You see Esau, man.
Right.
He's uncomfortable.
Right.
He's being called out. There's a spirit in the earth of him being called out. Yeah. He got us in the news every other day over drugs, but he's the biggest drug dealer there is, man.
Right.
Usher give a big girl disease, nigga. You put diseases inside of people for fun.
Yeah, it's Usher spraying her.
Yeah.
Right.
Just
Right.
to see how deadly it is.
To hell with Usher, but still, come on, man.
Right.
There wasn't no such thing as herpes and all of that when Gad was over here, man. You brought all of that crap, man. AIDS, you got a patent to AIDS. You created AIDS.
Right.
Syphilis. What about the Tuskegee experiment? You think you got away with that?
And Zebulon too.
Yeah, Zebulon. Oh man, what they did to Zebulon was just ridiculous. Experimenting on women who were pregnant, just cutting them open, twisting the baby skull around,
poking them and shit.
Yeah.
Well, they would give women syphilis and then have the women sleep with the Zebulonite men in the prison.
Yeah.
Test them. And then if they didn't want to sleep with them, they caught wind of it, they would hold down the man and inject it straight into his scrotum.
Right.
They eradicated 98% of gas.
Right. They put stuff in the foods to mess with your ball sack and your testicles, because there's a law where if you had an issue in your testicles, you couldn't be brought back into the congregation. You wouldn't be able to go. So Esau, man, you through. You're fucked. And it's all, hey, we don't even, that's just a little bit of what you've done. It's coming out, every day it's coming out more and more. You get caught in one hole, you try to cover one hole, more water coming, your boat is sinking, man. Right. You through. Right. It's time for your ass to be judged, man. Right. You've been sitting on the seat of morality for too damn long. Go ahead.
this is Joel 3:8. It says, "And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah,
Right.
and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord has spoken."
Right. Keep going, because we're gonna have our own slave trades.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles."
Proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles. And he scattered us amongst the Gentiles, and we're here to proclaim this. Go ahead.
It says, "Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men.
Right.
Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up."
Mm.
It says, "Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears.
Right.
Let the weak say, I am strong."
Right. They put aside agriculture to take on missiles. Okay? Because Esau's ruined all of the agriculture, man. Mexico, rich in corn, rich in this, rich in that, and then now it's destroyed. These particular heathens are set in particular places on the planet Earth to where they can bring forth what it's rich in, man. But they said, fuck it, man. We're going to start getting these missiles, man. And that's what you see happening all throughout the planet Earth, man. The big thing now is missiles, man. Military armor, right? Go ahead.
Verse 11, it says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause the almighty ones to come down, O Lord." It says, "Let the heathen be wakened."
Let the heathen be wakened. And that's Armageddon. They're being awakened, preparing themselves for the final battle, man. Go ahead.
It says, "And come up to the valley of Yahweh Shabbat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about."
Yeah.
It says, "Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get ye down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great."
Their wickedness is great, man. All right.
One more verse. It says, "Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision."
It's real quick. The brother that just mentioned that basically like the big thing now is missiles, man. We at the pinnacle of Esau's blessing, man. Like all throughout history, you had different stages of weapon technology growing. This is fit for the last war, man. Because you had stages where they had to develop counterparts, and that was the biggest thing. You got up to the cannonball, change history as far as warfare. Gatling gun. Now we're at the pinnacle of it, man, because we're at the end of this thing. So the Most High gave them the knowledge to create the ultimate weapon of destruction, man.
That's right. That's right. It's Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise." Going back into how the brother just ran through the progression of war.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood," being actually a physical thing. You know what I'm saying? Mano with mano type of deal. It says, "But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." You know what I'm saying? That burning and fuel of fire is going into the missiles, man. You know?
This is a different type of war. Yeah, because they used to have sword. They used to actually
It'd be
have
close.
Yeah.
Horses on the battlefield. It was noisy. It was noisy. You hear shields and swords, big screaming, ah!
Right.
Horses, you know, just noise.
Can't tell what's going on.
Screaming, the screaming and yelling of men, blood curdling screams.
Right.
You know?
I got it. It's Jeremiah 50 and 14. "Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her.
Right.
Spare no arrows,
Yep.
for she hath sinned against Yahweh."
Right.
Yeah, so all these nations, all of their arsenal, man, they gonna use it all up on America, man. It says spare none.
Yep.
So whatever these little weakened nations building up, they building it up to use it all, man. They're not gonna spare none of that ammo that they stockpiling, you know.
That's the spirit, man. We brought that out earlier.
Yeah, bring it out again.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Yo, because you can't disarm no missile, man.
Right.
Like we always go into it, like you can't no missile ain't going into no museum. It's created to be used, man. The Most High put the spirit on these scientists to make these missiles to destroy Great Babylon.
That's right. That's right. Let me jump to this is verse 29, Jeremiah 50 and 22. "A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken?"
Yep, that's right, brother. That's right.
Spirit of power.
Right.
So Yahweh said he was going to put his spirit on men.
Right.
to break down that stronghold, man.
Right.
You know?
Right. And the hammer of the earth is America.
Right.
Right.
No, that's another code name. We start using that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's hammer on the whole
Right.
earth.
MC Hammer.
Yeah. Well,
Hammer time.
right. But
Esau's name, man.
But Esau even took that from Jacob.
Yeah.
Maccabees.
Yeah.
Which means what? Hammer.
Yeah.
How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee. Now, what could we link this to? Somebody get Obadiah, where it say the men that were at peace with thee.
1 and 7.
1 and 7. Bible shot real quick.
Obadiah, verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
Right.
The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
Laid a wound. Trap.
Right. That snare.
Right. And what is your bread? That debt. Going back to Revelation, where it said they agreed to give their kingdom to the beast for a time and time, but then they go turn on your ass, man. Go ahead.
There is none understanding in him.
Right. So it's the same thing. Watch this. It's proven that Babylon and Esau are the same judgment, man. Jeremiah 50 and 24, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Ain't that the same thing it just said about Esau? He wasn't aware. He don't know. He just proud. Okay? Thou art found and also caught because thou hast striven against the Lord. The Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation.
That was it said you striven against the Lord, meaning you fighting up against him. Can you read that again, brother?
Right. It says, Jeremiah 50 and 25, the Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation.
That's what I'm saying. Esau's actions have made the Lord open up his armory, man.
Yeah. Let me go up to 24.
Come.
It says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh.
That's what I'm saying. He put that in Esau's mind to fight against him, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he's done such a good job that the Lord has opened up his armory. Yeah. And it's gonna put this thing to an end, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just like brother one would like to go into how Paul was talking about Esau equating them to Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. And all of it is tying together now. You know. Go ahead. Okay.
Revelation 16, 14. For they are spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty.
Damn.
Armageddon. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments.
Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, man. The men that stay in his truth. The men that's occupied in these prophecies, like he tell you in what's it, Sirach 34, to be occupied 39, to be occupied in prophecy. Read on.
It says, least he walk naked.
Least you walk naked, meaning unknowing, unsuspected, being ready to be taken by the thief.
No spiritual.
You know.
Right.
Go ahead.
Esau, because the Lord said he made Esau bear.
Right.
Con. And we'll say at least you walk naked, meaning you burn too. So if Esau burned, you burn too. That means you're gonna get caught and thrust through with him. Right. Go ahead.
It says, and he gathered them together unto a place called he.
I was saying, and who is the he? Who is the he? The Lord, man. Right. All of these moves is being made by the Lord. The Lord is controlling all these moves, man. Go ahead.
And the cold thing, read that part again.
It says that he gathered them together in a place called in the Hebrew tongue.
In the Hebrew tongue. Now, when you read Revelations, what does it say? These things are written. These things are going to shortly come to pass. That means the Hebrew tongue will still be here in the latter days, nigga.
Right.
Just a footnote. Go ahead.
Armageddon, which is Armageddon.
There you go.
Mountain of troops.
Mountain of troops.
Revelation 19 and 19.
I was saying a mountain of troops.
Right.
A mountain of troops.
Right.
It's gonna go down, bro. It's about to go down, bro. A mountain of troops.
Right.
The Lord gathered. He opened up his armory.
Right.
And got a mountain of troops.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Hey, that's
Revelation 19 and 17. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, Come and gather yourselves together to the supper of the great power,
Right.
that ye may eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains.
That's what I'm saying. That's gonna be like the kingdom of heaven for them birds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's their reward. That's their reward for catching all this hell. You know what I'm saying? Them chemtrails and all that stuff is landing on them too.
Right.
You know? The Lord is gonna reward the birds for doing their job. Because through all this madness, the birds and all the animals still doing their jobs. So they're gonna be rewarded too.
There's those unclean birds, you know, those
Scavengers.
what it say in they said the owls,
Vultures and
Uncaged birds.
Once this place is destroyed, they gonna be feasting on that, on all of the stuff forever, you know.
It's done. That's just like them alligators that still follow that trail of the slave ships.
Yeah, the sharks.
Alligators, I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? But alligators have they party out of hell too.
Alligator follow the boat. Yeah, that's bloopers. One of the niggas make a stop video with alligator following the boat.
Have my face in the alligator mouth and shit.
Go ahead.
It says, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of men, both free and bond, both small and great.
Right.
And I saw a beast, and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse.
Right, and that's our shot. Second Age 13, you know.
It says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that
Roman Catholic Church.
Go ahead. That wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image. Right?
You worship this way of life, you know. And church is set up to get you to do that. These churches, all of them fall under the Catholic Church. And they all are set up to get our people in the world to love this madness that's going on. All right, go ahead.
It says, these both were cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone. And the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh.
There you go. All right.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. This shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh shall smite all the people.
Speak up.
Zechariah 14:12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh shall smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. It's talking about the nuclear destruction, man.
Right.
All these things are happening for what? The nation of Israel. Why? Because they fought against the nation of Israel and the heavenly Father, man. They touched the apple of his eye. So we're going to the Most High gathering all these nations together. And that's just a part of it, man. He's going to burn everybody up here in America, most of all, but also in other places as well, man. The nuclear war.
Right. Real quick, and that tongue is also talking about those philosophies that you've been able to speak, right? Because it doesn't have as much power, right? And then their eyes going back into that vision of New World Order, which they're preparing, which isn't going to happen. You know, all of that's going to melt away in their head as well.
Yeah. Second Peter 3:10 backs up all the words that are actually burned up.
That's right. I appreciate it. This is Psalm chapter 7.
Speak up, brother.
Con. This is Psalm chapter 7, start at verse 13. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. Who the persecutors? You know, it's Esau. That's right. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and hath conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood. All right, and the whole image of the beast system, like the brothers was going into, that was his setup that he done to help deceive the masses. Verse 15, he made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch with his hand. All right, like Jake was going into those missiles earlier. Who's the one that made those? Esau made it, and who's going to be the one to destroy that? The Lord put the Spirit when He's dealt with to create these missiles to kill them off at the end of the day.
Yep, going back to Tubal Cain.
That's right. That's right. What's his name?
Eisenhower ain't connected that devil. He made a statement pretty much about World War IV. He said World War IV was going to be fought with sticks and stones because the third one, he knew it was going to be nuclear destruction.
Yeah.
You know?
Right, brother.
This is Isaiah 13:4 for the brother Monadon. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together.
Right, and that noise is equivalent to, like the brothers were saying, when you hear a battle going on, you hear swords clashing and stuff like that. So now it's going to be tanks, bullets, women crying, animals screeching. You know, it's going to be, you're going to hear a lot of crazy things because then the Lord is also, it's going to be things we haven't seen. It's going to be different apparitions showing up. Right. People going to be thinking they're fighting ghosts, you know, and spirits. It's going to be crazy, you know. Calm, brother. They're going to be getting down, and that's that noise of that multitude. Keep going on.
It says, the Lord of hosts mustereth the battle.
Right, mustereth means to like, right, let's look it up. It should something to the effect of instigating.
Yesterday.
You know?
Like stir.
You read that again, huh?
It says, I'm sorry, at the top. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
Yeah, that word mustereth is a quad. It says to attend to reckon, visit, punish, to pass and review, to lay upon as a charge. So yeah, like it's like instigating. You know, he's setting the stage. You know, when you muster the chess table, that means you're getting the pieces ready to get going. You know, to get in their place to do what they need to do. Go ahead, up.
Verse 5. They come from a far country, from the end of the heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation.
Right. So now it's going into what brothers were just talking about. Zechariah was a witness to it. Zechariah saw it. This is Isaiah. Isaiah is telling me the same thing that Zechariah saw. He saw these missiles, and that Jeremiah saw in those letters to us. And Nahum's, all the prophets saw missiles being shot onto a particular land.
Right.
All right. And this happens to be the land.
That's right.
This happens to be the land. Now, this is a land that's going to be set completely on fire, but ARMAGEDDON on the mountain of troops is destined for the Middle East because that was our land, man. So the Lord has to cleanse that.
That's right.
And we looked at that word plead. It was a shapat, which means judge, and that's more of the executing of judgment. You know, because you have judgment where you just speaking, you're discerning, but this is more the execution of the judgment. You know, the acting, what's going to happen for the judgment.
And deliverance will go on. Deliverance and destruction.
It says, they come from a far country, from the end of the heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them.
So I jump down to verse 11. I just want to get that point.
Come on. This is Isaiah 13:11. It says, and I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity.
Right, and the wicked for their iniquity. That's Esau in his space programs, all right? And not just the Edomites here in the U.S., the Edomites who rule all these other countries who have space programs, nuclear capabilities, their air forces. They're going to team up, whether they like it or not. The Lord's going to put the spirit on them to team up to try and fight Yahweh while fighting each other. You know,
it said in Second Entrance they go leave off from fighting each other and then try to fight against the Lord.
Royal Rumble, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be going down.
And you know, he said he's gonna destroy the land. Back in Revelation 19, he said basically after the destruction, the remnant gonna be slain. So we're gonna go get the rest of them. Just sit around.
Yeah. And it said the men that were not hurt by these plagues in Zechariah, the brother just read. So not everybody's gonna die. There's still gonna be people that we go get them out of them holes and bunkers. Yeah, because the Rothschilds and them ain't gonna die in the nuclear destruction.
Right.
They're gonna be set for to be them first slaves. All right. Yeah.
It's, Isaiah 13:11. It says, "And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and lay low the haughtiness of the terrible."
Yeah, that's the spirit. We were going into that word earlier, haughtiness, which is rawam, which means to be exalted. You know, and they think they are going to be exalted through their weaponry to fight Yahushua when he shows up. They really think that they're going to defeat the Lamb when the Lamb shows up.
Quick precept. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 8. It says, "And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him."
Right, all day is like the EU, NATO, you know, every country on earth that has the capabilities to fly, carry ammo on those vehicles that can fly, they're gonna shoot everything. The History Channel, they went into how if they had to fight the aliens, in the one particular part of that documentary that I remember, they said their all out last resort is gonna be to try to shoot a nuclear missile up over the chariot, and hopefully it lands on top of it and it hits. You know, that's his goal.
Well, he shot the moon, so it's not. He'll do anything. We gonna go get that missile. We got a brother in here. He gonna get that missile. Y'all rather go get that missile off that moon, because it's sitting up there. You know, the white man's the devil, man. It's gonna be. We go clean the space trash. All of that got to be cleaned.
Yeah, the minerals got to be replenished, man.
Right.
That's why the earth got to be burned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It said it's gonna be clean, dissolved, but the agent to clean, dissolve it is fire.
Right.
So you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's look at more. It says, "All they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid." Talking about Esau's military might.
Yeah, I'm saying the reason why they're gonna be so afraid is because it's gonna be something they've never seen before. You know what I'm saying?
There's no training camp, no boot camp.
You know,
to fight against Yahweh and the angels and the chariots.
It's just ain't gonna happen.
In the minute of the Lord.
I got a one quick one. I got to bring this out. Numbers 31:23. Everything that may abide by the fire, you should make it go through the fire, and it shall be clean.
Right.
That's just the whole earth. Right. The Lord's footstool need to be clean.
Not the whole earth will be burned, but particularly the vibration of this whole thing is going to be put to fire, man. You know, because the scripture said, Jeremiah 4:27, this whole land is going to be desolate, but he's not going to make a full end. You know?
Because you got to think about the volcanoes and stuff.
It's going to be fire in a lot of places.
You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be just enough. You know what I'm saying? To replenish the earth.
Right. This is when you say the fire, you know that brimstone is marine sulfur. You know that's what it is.
Yeah. Oh, that's Washington territory right there.
Sulfur that is mined or recovered from oil and gas production is known as brimstone, but the element is sulfur. So that's what the scripture says. Yeah, fire and brimstone. Fire, right. So that's sulfur.
It's like over there in Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay. Just a little bit more.
Okay, go back to Isaiah 13 and then we'll end off.
It says, all they which were, Salaki, this is 2nd Ezra 13:8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight.
Right.
You know, Armageddon.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of kamikazes too. A lot of them are just going to say, fuck it, and just, you know, just keep just flying into outer space or something to escape just the earth, the battle. You know, a lot of people, they try to disappear when the battle start popping off. They just disobey all commands or what have you.
Yep.
A lot of people just going, you know, off themselves.
Right, yeah.
Yep. So we're going to end it off, get Isaiah 13 and start at 19.
All right. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation.
Right, now watch this.
Neither shall Arabia pitch tent there.
Right, now what? Neither shall the Arabia, these little, you go out to New York, you see Ishmael with all them little halal, you know, little bullshit. Yeah, it ain't gonna be no more of that. But read that first part again.
It says, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation.
Right.
Neither shall the Arabia pitch tent there.
As the Lord overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, right? It's talking about Babylon. So Jeremiah 49:17. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished at the plagues thereof, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, what does this prove? That Esau and Babylon are the same thing.
That's right.
You Edomites are about to be judged, man.
Yeah.
Judgment is coming to this place right here, man.
That's right.
All right. It says, in the neighboring cities thereof, no man shall abide. Why does it say Edom? Because Edom is Babylon, man. I love linking that up in the spirit, man. All right, because you Edomites are too goddamn proud, man. All right, some more. Was that it? All right.
Just real quick, Joel 3:19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness.
Right. Egypt and Edom. Egypt and Edom.
Tag
You
team.
should be sold into Egypt again with ships. Yep.
For thy violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. Showing you that land's going to get lit up.
There you go. There you go.
It's Jeremiah 16:14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that there shall be no more said, the Lord liveth, and that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Like we was mentioned earlier, we live in the time in the history that's going to be spoken of in the kingdom, man. And just like amongst the whole earth right now, every nation got accounts of major things that happen in the Bible, but every nation speak on the deliverance of Egypt, out of Egypt, and out of the children of Israel. But it's letting you know that it's coming on the time where something is going to replace that history. Verse 15. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, which is talking about here in America, Babylon, man. Because in the midst of Armageddon and all the destruction that's to come, the Lord is going to deliver his elect, man. That's why we hasten today for this third world war. Because we know that that's our kingdom. That's why our brother going into the nukes being a cleaning agent and everything like that, man. We know when our kingdom is established, man, we want it on a fresh foundation, man. You got so-called Israelites today who selling for this defiled place, man. No, man. We know that this place got to be clean so we can enjoy our kingdom, man, and its full potential. Reading on, it says, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
That's it.
That's his will.
You got some?
Yeah, I got a quick
We're gonna
just back in those Yagadah, just reading. This is Daniel 12:1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered.
And that's them chariots. That's because Michael and his angels are going to fight against the dragon and his angels, right? So the Lord is going to send through his right hand under Yahweh Shai those angels, man. And Michael is the top general in the Lord's army, all right? Ready to do damage, okay?
That's on the righteous side. We were talking about that word plea, is judgment, or shapat. Like on the left-hand side, or for the judgment side, the vengeance side, is going to be these other nations destroying great Babylon, you know, the weapons of the Most High's armory with those missiles. But on the righteous side, that deliverance, man, the angels are pleading the cause of the elect to be delivered.
That's right.
It says, and at that time, now people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. That's the elect.
The book of life, baby. You know, so hopefully y'all were edified, you know, through the spirit. Hey, we were all over the place, but hey, man, there's so much going on. It's hard to stick. You know, hey, the spirit go whatever episode they wanted, man. All right, so hopefully y'all were edified. We're going to give all praise to Yahweh,
Hashem, Yahweh Shai.
double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. I need some chicken.
Damn.